Today, we're going to talk about one powerful, foundational idea from Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, this is one of the most influential books on personal development ever. And Covey says there's this one principle that's so crucial, so fundamental, that if you don't get this right, none of the other habits or strategies will ever stick. So let's get into it. First off, let's just be clear about the impact we're talking about here. This isn't just some random book. We're talking about something that more than 400,000 people have rated and reviewed, and it consistently lands at the top of best of lists, even decades after it was written. There's a reason its ideas have lasted. And the promise it makes? It's huge. It's not about making a few small adjustments here and there. The central claim is that if you really understand the principles in this book, you'll have the key to making radical, lasting changes in every part of your life. Your family, your career, your relationships, you name it. The whole shebang. So, how do we actually do that? How do we unlock that kind of transformation? Well, Covey says it all comes down to 2 keys. But here's the thing, and this is absolutely critical. You have to use them in the right order. If you get the order wrong, that door to real, lasting change, it stays locked. The first key, the one you absolutely have to start with, is this. All genuine change has to start from the inside and work its way out. So many of us have this completely backward. We think, oh, if I just had a better job, then I'd be motivated, or if my spouse would just change, then we'd be happy. But the book argues that's a total trap. Real change starts with you first. To really get the power of this inside-out idea, think about this analogy. For thousands of years, all of humanity, all of science, was built on the belief that the sun revolved around the Earth. It just seemed obvious, right? Then Copernicus came along and said, nope, you've got it all wrong. The Earth revolves around the sun. That one single internal shift in perspective, it changed everything. It literally unlocked centuries of scientific and human progress. That's what an inside-out shift can do. Okay, so if real change has to start from within, what is the thing on the inside that we're supposed to be changing? That brings us to our second key. It's a word you've probably heard before, but we're going to look at it in a completely new light. That word is paradigms. Think of your paradigms as the invisible blueprint of your mind. They are the absolute foundation of how you see, understand, and react to everything around you. And we're not just talking about opinions here. No, this goes much, much deeper. So what is a paradigm? Well, it's basically your mental map of the world. It's the grand total of every single thought, experience, and belief you've gathered since the day you were born. It's not reality itself, but it is the map, the guide you use to navigate reality. And this leads us to maybe the best metaphor there is for this concept. Your paradigms are the lenses you look through every single second of every single day. We all have them. Some of us have lenses that are crystal clear, some are a little smudged, and some are really distorted. But nobody sees the world as it is. We see it as our lenses allow us to. Now, it's easy to hear that and think, okay, nice metaphor. But how much can these internal lenses really affect what we experience? How powerful are they for real? Let's check out a quick story that shows just how unbelievably powerful they can be. So there's a philosopher standing on a street corner, and he sees an accident between a car and a motorcycle. When the police show up, he is 100% certain about what he saw. He tells them, I saw it with my own eyes. The car is at fault. It smashed right into the motorcycle. See, his paradigm, his pre-existing belief was simple. Cars are big and strong, motorcycles are small and weak. But then the motorcyclist walks over and says, hey, thanks for trying to help, but I'm actually the one who hit the car. In that one instant, the philosopher realized that his paradigm, his internal lens, had literally made him see something that didn't happen. His brain just filled in the story to match his belief, completely ignoring what his own eyes were telling him. And this isn't just a quirky story. This has been proven in real-world experiments. In one famous study, teachers were told that a group of totally average students were actually gifted. Because the teachers held that belief, that paradigm, they treated the students differently. And guess what? The students' performance went through the roof. And sadly, the reverse was also true. The teachers' paradigms became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, we know our paradigms are powerful, but changing them sounds like it would take years of hard work, right? Well, sometimes. But other times, a paradigm can shift in a single jaw-dropping moment. And Stephen Covey shares this personal story that you will not forget. He's riding a subway in New York on a quiet Sunday morning. It's peaceful. People are reading, just relaxing. Then a man gets on with his kids, and they just start going wild, yelling, throwing stuff, bothering everyone, and their father just sits there, eyes closed, doing absolutely nothing. Cubby's getting more and more annoyed by the second until he just can't take it anymore. So he finally leans over and says, "Sir, your children are really disturbing everyone. Maybe you could control them a little more." The man looks up, almost like he's just now realizing what's happening, and he says quietly, "Oh, you're right. I guess I should do something about that. We just came from the hospital where their mother died about an hour ago. I don't know what to think, and I guess they don't know how to handle it either."
And just like that, everything changed. Instantly. His paradigm shifted from inconsiderate dad letting his kids run wild to grieving husband and father in absolute shock. That feeling of anger, it just evaporated. It was immediately replaced by this weave of compassion and a desire to help. The situation didn't change, but by changing his lens, the entire world did.
So this brings it all right back to us, doesn't it? If our paradigms are that powerful, if they can be so wrong, and if they can be changed in an instant, well, then we have to start taking a hard look at our own. We have to start asking, what is my lens really showing me? This quote from the book just lays it out perfectly. It all starts with a thought, a belief, a paradigm. That tiny seed is what grows into your actions, which become your habits, which form your character, and that ultimately creates your destiny. If you want to change your destiny, you can't just mess with the leaves. You have to go all the way down to the root. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you're facing a challenge or a problem that seems impossible, just ask yourself this. What if the problem isn't really out there? With my job or my boss or my family, what if the key to changing everything is simply to change the lens I'm using to see it?